Quiet, please. Agus a cháirde bhaid an anáid a choró tróna ag an pócáid íontach a líonta seo. You're very welcome on this dirty evening to this rays of light and sources of joy all over this room. It's just such a pleasure, as always, to have John Behan and his work in the gallery. We've been showing John's work for almost 50 years now, even though we don't look at either of us. But I think he just gets better and better. And it's a real pleasure to have him here and to have so many of you here to join us as well. And equally, may I say, another old friend who it's really special to have him here to open the show is Stephen Rea, one of our great ambassadors in the arts, in so many different areas of the arts. And I mean great ambassadors who has travelled the world and is well known for it. And so it's a genuine pleasure to welcome him to open the show.
Thank you, Tom. It's a tremendous honour to be asked to open this amazing exhibition. I think you'll agree, this extraordinary work, and such an amount of it that I don't know how he gets time to do it, but it is absolutely amazing. I first met John back in the 60s. We were only boys, and it was in the Queen's Theatre in Pearse Street that the Abbey used to be housed in for a time, and John was painting scenery and I was doing something, trying to be something. The Abbey at that time was really a bit of a mess. The great artists were dead or fled, and it was run by politicians and time servers, and their attitude was kind of like, well, you know, Groucho Marx used to say he didn't want to be a member of a club that would have him as a member. And the Abbey kind of thought if you wanted to work in the Abbey, you couldn't be any good. So we didn't stay long. So John had started work as a welder, in McLaughlin's, yeah, and in his own words, he'd learned to work in hammers, hacksaws, mechanical saws, how to rivet and weld, steel, stainless steel, cast iron, brass, bronze, aluminium, assembling materials into meaningful form. Studying the work of Henry Moore, Picasso, Michelangelo, and the primitive cultures of the Middle East, he made the heroic progress from welder to artist. He became part of the New Artists Group and every other significant group of visual artists in Ireland. John has said that they were not interested in creating a forum for themselves. They had no desire to create an ism. They merely wanted to survive. But he had felt a gap in Irish art between the Middle Ages and the 20th century. The Renaissance wasn't experienced in Ireland for reasons of conquest and Christianity, and so John set about building a lifeline to the past and therefore to the future. He imagined a past for us. He adjusted our amnesia. He pressed on into the future. The artist feels things earlier and more keenly and does so on our behalf. He showed Ireland to itself and is still doing so. His work is muscular and mythic. It's there to be seen. And now he's not just filling that gap in Irish experience. He's pointing us now to the great tragedies of today, the African famine, the awful migration issues. That's all here, and John is showing it to us because he felt it more keenly than us. We owe him a huge, huge debt. And I will say this: I met him in the 60s, and we've known each other ever since, but we don't see each other that often. But the test of true friendship, to me, seems that it's not how often you see somebody. It's just if they're the same person for you, then it's a real friendship. And I want to thank him for the work and for the friendship. Thank
you very much. Two small points I'd like to make. Adrian Fraser is here. He has written an extraordinary book on John, and believe it or not, we have copies for sale. But and it's wonderful. It's a terrific read. And the other point I would make to you is, because there's such a crowd this evening, it's not easy to see the work properly. So honestly, we drag it out into the middle of the floor tomorrow, and it'll look even better. So you're welcome to come back at any time. It'll be here for the next month. So thank you for your attention, for being happy, and enjoy the listening. Actually, that's lovely.
Can I drag these 2,000 just? Oh, sorry. You're on a video, is it?